Have you ever found yourself at 2 a.m. typing out a long, carefully worded email to your ex? You're explaining your feelings, you're citing the kid's needs, and you're hoping, just hoping that if you use the right words, he'll finally get it. You send that email, and what do you get in return? A 3-word insult or a legal threat. Today, I am going to tell you that you cannot reason with a person who uses your communication attempts as a roadmap to hurt you. I'm Maura McMahon, Empathic Empowerment Guide and Narc-Proof Mom. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to stop explaining and how to start reclaiming your peace. We are the mothers. We are the mothers. We are the mothers. We see. We are the healing. We seek peace. This is why reason fails with narcissists. As an empathic mom, understanding others is your superpower. But when you apply this to narcissists, it becomes your weakness. You assume they have a limit or a bottom. They don't. To them, your explanation is not information, it's supply. It's proof to them that they have control of your emotions. Narcissists typically lack effective empathy, meaning they don't feel the emotions of others, even if they understand them intellectually. This emotional disconnect doesn't mean they don't recognize the feelings of others. It means that they are not willing to engage with those feelings. They have a need to protect their self-image and avoid any vulnerability. They might use cognitive empathy, where they understand others' perspectives, as a way to manipulate, but they don't experience the emotional resonance that leads to genuine compassion. As a result, they often seem cold or indifferent to others' pain, especially when it doesn't serve their needs. So what can you do? Here are 3 specific ways you can start to shift your communication with a narcissist. Number 1, we've got the JADE Rule. It stands for justify, argue, defend, and explain. As soon as you find yourself doing any of these things, you have entered the hamster wheel and they have you hooked. It'll continue on for as long as you allow it. It's a lot like a little kid who's doing something they know they shouldn't be doing, but they can't stop themselves because it's fulfilling their need for attention. Remember, if it takes more than 2 sentences, you could be jading. Number 2, the information only filter. This is where you treat every text and email exchange like a factual business memo, removing all emotion, because your sharing of emotions is just an opening for the narcissist to exploit. So for example, the kids have a soccer game. Instead of sending something like, the kids will be so hurt if you miss their soccer game, you can say something like, the kids' soccer game is at 4 p.m. on Tuesday. The schedule is in the shared calendar. Notice how that sounds different. You're removing any emotional words, only using informational words. It makes all the difference. Number 3, the parallel parenting mindset. Stop trying to co-parent, which requires cooperation, and instead start parallel parenting, which requires boundaries. This is especially true when your kids are under 18. Trying to work with your ex on virtually anything is going to be impossible. With parallel parenting, you create a very specific, detailed set of instructions to handle virtually anything that comes up. Things like doctor and therapy appointments, school activities, sporting events, holiday visitation schedules. Once you get these set, you create your own boundaries for your house, and your ex will do the same. You need to include your kids in explaining to them that the expectations and the processes and the rules are indeed different. Things like at mom's house, we turn off the TV at 7 o'clock at night. I know it can be different at dad's house. Acknowledging these differences in mom's house and dad's house helps the kids understand what to expect and can alleviate a lot of their anxiety, which is going to help protect their emotional health. Keeping all informational exchanges to text or email is going to provide you further protection and prevent you from being pulled into more of their conflict. To help you stay in your power, here are 3 ways to respond as conflicts arise. Number 1, when you need to shut down an insult quickly. You want to respond with a short, assertive reply the moment they start trying to shift the focus from your child-related concern into a personal insult. The goal is to create a clear boundary to protect your emotional space and to redirect the conversation back to the child without getting drawn into a debate. For example, they might say something like, "It's your fault that Maya is so anxious. If you'd stop overprotecting her, she'd be more confident by now." What this does is blames your parenting style and implies that you're ruining your child's development. A Narc-Proof response is to restate your child's need and end the personal attack by saying something like, "The priority is what is best for Maya right now. I'm not going to discuss personal criticisms." Okay, the second one is to end a circular argument. You know the ones that keep you going around and around and around. There is no beginning, there is no end. And when you finally get out of it, you feel frustrated and tormented. So here's an example. Dad says, "Emma's acting out because you're a terrible mother." Mom says, "What do you mean? She's just upset about school." Dad says, "Exactly. She's upset because you never set firm boundaries. If you were a good mother, she wouldn't be upset." Mom says, "So you're saying the problem is my parenting?" Dad says, "Yes, because a bad mother always creates a misbehaving child. The fact that Emma is misbehaving proves I'm right." Why it's circular. The premise, "You're a terrible mother," is assumed true without evidence. The conclusion, "Emma is misbehaving," is used as proof of the premise, but the premise itself is the reason given for the conclusion. The argument loops back on itself, never providing independent evidence that the mother's behavior caused the child's issue. A Narc-Proof response is a short, assertive reply that cuts the loop and puts the focus back on the concrete facts. Something like, "I'm not going to continue a conversation that blames me without evidence. If you have a specific, observable concern about Emma's behavior, tell me what it is and we can work on a solution. Otherwise, I am ending this discussion." Number 3, to decline a request wrapped in a demand. So listen closely, because this one sounds sort of confusing on the surface, but as you hear me describe it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This is where they'll say something like, "I'm asking you to stop letting Lucas eat cereal for breakfast anymore. It's obvious he's not getting enough protein, and if you keep feeding him sugary cereal, he'll never develop good eating habits. From tomorrow on, make sure his breakfast is always a protein-rich meal, and don't try to argue about it later." It may sound like they're asking, but what they're actually doing is making a demand. They're refusing discussion, and they're telling you what to do. This subtly shifts the responsibility onto you and makes you feel like you have to agree, but you don't. A Narc-Proof response would be something like, "That doesn't work for me. I have my own rules around what we do for breakfast at my house. Period. No explanations, remembering JADE. No justifying, no arguing, no defending, and no explaining." If you're tired of the fight and ready for a structured path to freedom, apply for my course using the link in the description box below. And if you haven't already, I'm also including a link for you to download your free copy of my Narc-Proof Parenting Plan Blueprint. Remember, your silence is not weakness. It's your greatest boundary. You've got this, Mama. See you next time.